I'm going to show you the best Google Ads metric I've ever found. I say this after doing Google Ads for 10 years full time, spending over $115 million. This is the one metric I look at all the time with every single client across e-commerce and lead generation to help them get perspective on how to improve their business. Now, the reason why this is so important, because this one metric can allow me to know how long I need to wait to optimize. When I do optimize, how long do I need to give it till the next time I optimize, but also give insights and recommendations and strategies around the top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel strategies to retarget to ensure maximum leads and maximum sales. So that would have hooked you in by now. So let's go through this now. So what we're going to go to now is we're going to look at the attribution report. So in your Google Ads account, you want to go to goals, measurement, and attribution. Now in here, we're going to go to a report called Path Metrics. Now, the reason why this is so important is because we're going to start to see from how long it takes from their first click until they turn into a lead or a sale, and more importantly, how many times do they need to interact with your website or your ads to turn into a sale as well. So what we want to do here, firstly, is change 3 areas. Number 1, the conversion action. You want to ensure that the conversion action, if it's e-commerce, is only a sale, or if it's lead generation, it's either a lead, or if it's an offline sales conversion that's been uploaded as well. So we're going to do that now. So you'll go into this conversion action here, and I'll just have a look here and just make sure it's only a conversion that's a pure outcome, not an add to cart or initiated checkout, something that's really just a pure outcome. Now, what we want to do here is change our look back window to 90 days. Now, usually it will be on default, and as it's on default, it will usually shift around. So even as you move these, I always put it on to 90 days because the buying cycle for users is so different. Someone may take 1 day, some people may take 90 days, and you do want the whole data average over that time period as well. I found this to be the best date period to get a really clear and non-variable outcome to actually know what that looks like. And then lastly, we want to be clicking on this measure from, and it will be on last interaction. We actually want on the first interaction. The reason why that is now we actually know how long does it take from the first click or first interaction with an ad to your website to actually them converting for a purchase. Now for this business, over the last 90 days, using a 90-day look-back window, it's just under 19 days, and it takes people around 3.1 visits to the website to purchase. Now, knowing that gives a very different way of optimizing and doing a strategy towards this business, because if we know that it's going to take 19 days from someone's first click on the top of funnel or even any sort of click, now we can actually know that if we make a change today, the results may not come in for another 15 to 21 days. Now, why I say 15 to 21 days is because we do want to give some variability on each side. Not much longer, but definitely some time on the sooner side because you want to be agile, fast, and dynamic. This data here is so powerful because so many people make a change and then they look 2 days later. Oh, what is the result? 3 days later, what is the result? No, you need to use the data from your business and your account to actually make these numbers work. The interesting thing about this is, and I notice this with clients, sometimes it goes down and sometimes it significantly increases, and it's purely based on seasonality as well. So rather than having made up numbers in your head telling to your business or your stakeholders or your business partners, this is the data point where you can actually go, look, at the moment, based on our sales, this is how long it's taking people from their first click to buy. And more importantly, how many times do they need to interact with the website until they purchase? This isn't just one click and then they come again and then they purchase and they've been thinking about it. People will come to the website multiple times to look around, to shop around. And this is why you need to start to really think about your retargeting, your remarketing, or your nurture sequence as well. Basically, because if someone comes to your website, they like it but disappear, if you're not doing anything to get them back for that second or third time, you're going to miss out on those sales. So this is where you can start to be more strategic around what other channels are we doing? Are we doing Performance Max remarketing? Are we doing display remarketing, meta remarketing, Instagram remarketing, YouTube remarketing? Are we doing email marketing? What are we doing to ensure we get people back to the website purely just to visit? Because that will start to move people closer towards their purchase as well. So I'm going to walk you through a few different accounts right now and just show you what they look like. So this first one is a US-based fashion company. And this is the data here with the same selection. We've got Shopify purchases, 90 days, first click, and over here over the last 7 days. Now I'm going to change this to the last 90 days. And the reason why I had 7 days in there is because I was doing an analysis to see how the last 7 days have performed against the last 90 days. So if we go into here for the last 90 days, we can see it's averaging around 14.2 days, which does seem fine, but it's just around 2 weeks from their first click to a purchase. But in the last 7 days, and we're in Black Friday at the moment, it's moving up to 18, just under 19 days, which may make sense because people might be waiting out for a Black Friday offer. But if we actually look at a different time period, for example, last month, we can see that it's gone down to 14 days or just under 15 days. So knowing this, that is, if there's a lot of delays in sales in this business, it's most likely due to the season which we're in, which we spoke about before. And Google Ads is so good at showing this because it really is a live update with what the market is doing at the moment. With SEO, you don't get that. With meta ads, you don't get that. So even if I look at the last 7 days, I could be surprised that once again, it's at 18.7 days. So we know that in the last 7 days, people have been waiting out to purchase. And then maybe if we change this to a shorter look back window, it will get a bit much lower, obviously. So that's a really important number. Now, what's more interesting is we work with this company with their Australian account as well. And if we go to the Australian account, we can look at the last 90 days down here. And we're at 17 days compared to the US account, which is operating at 14.2 days. And then we look at the last 30 days, for example, which is at 14 days. And we go over to the Australian account, and over here, it's at 20.6 days. So same business running the same type of ads to the same type of stores. There's 2 stores, by the way, for this, but we're seeing a significant difference in delay in purchases purely because of this. Now, looking back here, users only need 2.3 visits for the US store to purchase, yet in Australia, they need 5.2. That is a significantly different number. That's nearly 3 times as much. Well, it's 2.5 times as much. But it makes such a difference in terms of the strategies, the KPIs, and when changes are made for the same business to when we should expect results as well. Now, the great thing about this account is it consistently has gone well. It's had a 5x return on ad spend for like the last 3 years, and it's done millions of dollars in sales as well. But knowing this, especially in this economy, in this season, and being around Black Friday at the moment, I know for sure that this is going to have a significant impact on the business as well. So the next one I'm going to show you is another e-commerce. Now they actually do over-the-counter goods. These are quite transactional. People are usually just looking for the best price and buying immediately. But even with them, from the first interaction, we can see it's around 4.2 days on average. Now, the other thing I didn't mention was what percentage of people buy within less than 1 day, and there'll be a number here. The reason why I don't give too much attention to this because it can be limited by the cookies on Google or their tracking. So the limitations are a lot of people may have clicked in the past, gone away, and then coming back. But because of the tracking or the pixel or the cookies, that it's not tracking them. So it does look like it's their first interaction as well. But with this company as well, if we go to the last 90 days or last 30 days, we'll start off there. We can see it's at 3.4, which is good over the last 90-day look back window from first interaction. But in the last 7 days, it's moved up 4.6, which we were looking at before. It's interesting that different businesses would have different benchmarks around this because every business is different. All 3 of these are e-commerce businesses. 2 of them were the same business, but the numbers were different. Hence why this report is so important because you can actually go back to your business with your real business data. Granted, you've got number 1, proper conversion tracking set up in the ad account to ensure that outcome-based goal is correct, and then making sure that you're actually looking at it in an appropriate window of time as well. Now, I'm going to show you another e-commerce store because this is what's quite interesting about this is you can start to see over time, this client, for example, it takes 18.7 days to purchase from the first click and 3.1 days, for example, as well. But if we look at the last 7 days in Black Friday, we can see that this is shifted to 16.4. Why is that the case? Why is it less when other businesses are showing different? That's when the strategy comes in as well. Now, this company spends a lot of money on Meta ads. We're doing the Google ads for them. So that does enhance in the variability around this as well. So if they're spending more on Meta ads, people are clicking on the ads more, going to the website again, and then reducing that window. So if you have other campaign strategies or you're spending more on other channels that retarget people, they're actually going to come back to your website sooner and make purchases faster, most of the time. Now, the last one I'm going to show, very interesting one. I'm going to have to blur some of these details out. But what this is for an insurance company. Now, they've got two ways people can purchase. Number one, online, or number two, they fill in a form and then they get called, they purchase on the phone, and then that data is fed back in here as well. So I'm going to show you the data over the last 90-day window, 90 days as well, first interaction. Now, I'm going to show you the data here first of when people are doing an offline sale, being it when they filled in a form, they get a call, and then they purchase. And we can see here it's around 4.7 days, around 3 interactions with the website. So they may have come a few times, submitted a form, and then they've done that. Now, this is from the first interaction to when the sale has been confirmed on the back end and fed back in. So also including that time as well. But we look now when it's done the online conversion. So I've changed the conversion action. It's actually up to 7.8 days and 3.2. So people are having a few more interactions with the website on average, we can see here. So basically for every 5 users or 5 people who convert, they're probably 1 session more. What we're noticing is it takes a longer window for people to purchase online, which is very interesting for this business because they've wanted to push more to the online space where people self-serve. But we can actually see here that when people are actually self-serving, they're taking twice as long or nearly as twice as long to purchase or take an action as well. So that's the video today. That's quite a passionate video about why I think this is one of the most amazing metrics in Google Ads. I think if you can use this, you can set the direction for your business, hold back stakeholders or specialists or whoever's making changes in the account to do it more appropriate time manner. Any change you make will have an impact, positive or negative. And most of the time with businesses I see now, it's mostly on the negative side. But the reality of this is what changes are you making and when are you making it? So many videos are about what changes to make, but when do you make it? This is when to make it. This is the data you need to use. And based on this, you can look at the last 7, 30, 90 days, even longer, and actually start to see what windows make changes so your business actually gets results. So I'm going to leave it there. If you need this type of help with your analysis in your Google Ads account, reach out to us at Market Lead. That's what we do here. We help businesses scale their ad accounts, make more money, and grow their business. I've been rated one of the top 100 PPC experts for the last 3 years. These are all the strategies we use and many more. We go deeper with our data analysis, but deeper with our strategies as well. So if you want to grow and scale your business, reach out to us. That's specifically what we do and what these videos are for. But remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, but most importantly, enjoy.